Welcome to Vegas Live with Nina, and I'm actually at the Pepper Mill, as you can probably tell, where I am every week. Every week we film down here at the Pepper Mill from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and we have people from all over Las Vegas, whether you're in the entertainment business, the foundation business, it doesn't matter what business you're in or what you're doing. We interview everybody, and sometimes we have a lot of rappers on, or we have a lot of music people on, or we have performers on. And my first guest today is Sean. Sean, how are you?
I'm outstanding. Thank you for having
And then
me.
we have Tony, and I believe Tony is part of a true story that you're going to tell me about.
Yes.
And what he has a foundation called Silence the Violence, which I like. At first I was trying to say silence the violence. Okay, we don't want to silence it that we don't know about it, but we want to silence it to get rid of it.
Yes.
That's your message.
Yes.
Okay, so how are you? How's it
I'm
going?
outstanding.
Is it going good?
I'm outstanding. Yeah, everything's. I've been in business about 3 years now.
3 years on a non-profit.
Yes, ma'am.
How's it going with the non-profit? Because I know raising money in this town is really, really hard.
It is, and you know what? I was lucky enough to break into the school district. You know, I was able to take it. What started as like a one-on-one type of deal with kids that needed help, that I could see needed help and stuff like that.
Okay.
And music has always been my medicine. Okay. So I found a way that if I could get them, and I could get them into the recording studio, and I could record
them off
them.
The streets.
Yes, but I could record them, and if they've never recorded before, once they hear themselves played back to them, it's magic. It's
really?
Magical, yes. And
because you have to understand, in all of us, children, whoever we are, we have a little ham in ourselves, and we also like to be approved. Because we really we don't know how we speak, we don't see ourselves actually except on the mirror, which is flat. Right. So when you take a young person into a studio and they actually hear what they sound like, they can either like it or not like it.
I've yet to find one that didn't you know
like
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah,
yes.
because we like to hear our own voices.
Yes.
And of course, this is Tony. Tony, you are actually part of Sean's program, and a success story, it sounds like.
Yes,
ma'am.
You look like you're very quiet, and you look like you're happy.
Yes, just taking it all in, you know. It's
How old are you?
I'm 22 years old, about to be
22.
23 in August. Yes, ma'am.
So, tell me a little about Tony. What's the story with Tony?
When I came into his life, he was teetering on trouble and the streets and going the right way. And I've always been one that I tried to lead by example. Because talking.
Are you a good example?
I am.
Good.
I am. I mean, me myself, I've turned my life around 100%.
You were in trouble at one time.
Yes, I've been to prison and stuff. Yes.
Oh my goodness! So you've actually turned around.
Yes.
I've often wondered, and I think a lot of people wonder, that once you've been in prison, and you come out, and now you've got to face this world of not getting employed because you've been in prison. You went through all that,
Absolutely.
obviously.
Absolutely.
Tough.
It is.
So don't go to prison.
No. The program kept him out of it. All his friends that were around him all fell. They all went that way, and he was the one that rised above.
And you couldn't save the other ones?
You know what? I tried. Because they were always around.
Of course. They want to grab you. They want to get you.
Right. But he rose above, and he's doing wonderful now. He's doing great. He's got his own job.
So you actually went into this program because you actually experienced what it was like out there. So were you in a gang or
I was.
You were in a gang?
Yeah, I was.
Is it a gang we know? Or
it's local.
I personally don't know any of the gangs.
It's a local gang, you know what I mean?
Gang.
It's I grew up in North Las Vegas.
Okay.
I graduated from Rancho High School, in 91, and back then, it was but that being an outside school,
yes,
a lot of things could happen. People can just come off of the street and cause problems, and that's the kind of things that happen.
But always, I hate to say it, but there's always the bad apple in the bunch.
Always, no matter where you go.
And as far as I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she's having problems with a 16-year-old niece that has actually asked her if she could be taught at home and not be in the school system. So they're all angry about it, and I said, hang on a second.
Yes.
I said, there's something going on in school.
Yes.
Well, I happen to know what it is because I know where she is. I know the school she goes to.
Yes.
And it's between the gangs, and it's between the Armenian gangs and the Mexican
Wow.
gangs. And she's Armenian. And I know she's probably been told, if you say anything to your mum and dad or anybody, we're going to come after your family. They'll threaten her.
Yeah.
So she's trying to and I explained this to my girlfriend, because this is her niece.
Yeah.
She said, Nina, I never looked at it that way. And I said, well, just kind of delve into it, but don't ask her.
Yes.
Because she'll be threatened.
Right.
Was that ever happened to you?
Yeah, a bunch of times, you know.
Bunch of times?
Yeah, well, I mean, just going through school and everything, it's just a bunch of influences. So, I mean, it's kind of hard.
Do you have a choice? Sometimes you don't have a choice.
Well, you definitely have a choice.
Before he came along.
You're right.
Yes. I mean, it was always up to myself. I always knew what was right, but sometimes you need that little influence, or I should say an outlet. And
Positivity.
That's where the music came into play, Silence the Violence, like you said, hearing yourself through a microphone, you know what I mean? It just kind of gives you a focus, a direct focus.
Does it give you something to do?
Direction.
Does it give you a direction?
Does
it give you a meaning in life?
It does.
Yeah, definitely.
It does.
Definitely.
Rather than these people, I mean, obviously a lot of your friends are in the gang, right?
Yeah.
Do you talk to them at all? And
I've spoke to them, and I've actually spoke to them about doing right. I spoke to them about the program and everything. They feel as if they missed out, but like you said...
But it's never too late. You're only,
No.
you know, however old you are.
Yeah.
Right? No, really.
When you're my age, it might be too late. I don't know. I don't even think it's too late on my age. But it's never too late. So I want to give you a message out there, kids. It's never too late. If you've been in the gang for 5 years, 10 years, I don't care. You can always come out.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's right.
True?
Yes, and if they love you, then they'll push you towards positivity. They won't try to hold you back.
If who loves you?
Your
peers around
associates will say
associates that are not in the gang.
No, that are in the gang, that are in the gang. The ones that really love you will push you to positivity.
Will
And
let you out of the game?
They will if they really love you.
This is something new. This is something I quite like. But do they really ever love you?
No, I think that there's a form of love. It's not
Our sort of love. It's their love.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
it's a
yes.
different love.
It is.
So do you think it's easy for somebody to get out of a gang? I've heard the opposite.
It's not always easy. It's not always
Oh.
easy, but you know, you gotta make your decision. You know what I mean? And
But you're only like 20, 21, 18,
Yeah.
14, whatever the age
Yeah.
is. Now, is it true, I'm asking a question, but I probably know the answer, but is it true that they send out the older gang people, send out the young ones to do the shootings and all the bad
Absolutely,
things?
absolutely. I mean, I'm not giving up the game that's not already known. But yeah, of course. If you could get somebody to go do your dirty work for you,
And then they're the ones, the young ones, they're the ones that end up in prison, right?
Absolutely.
So therefore, so
Absolutely.
if you did it, I'm not saying you will, but if you did it and you get caught, you're going to prison and they're sitting out there,
Right.
There goes my life.
No money on your books or nothing.
No. And you have a record. And the reason I know that, because I did a lot of shows before. I had a show called Voices of Tomorrow, and I took my cameras in juvenile hall. So I
Wow.
know all about the juvenile hall
Absolutely.
kids. And they're, some of them are in there for 10 years, 5 years, and they're kids.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about your foundation.
Okay.
And you started it because obviously you were in jail. Were you in jail long?
I did 5 years in the federal time.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
That's
it is.
a long time.
What
did you learn in there?
Well, I came out with an associate's degree in social science.
In social science.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually made something of being in
Absolutely.
there to bring out.
Absolutely.
So that's a good message to anybody in prison, which I wish you all weren't. But if you are in prison,
It's
learn
possible.
something.
Yeah, absolutely. Use
so
your time wisely.
They have school programs.
Well, I lucked out because the institute that I was in, when you go, it's different. Like the state is one way, and then you got the federal is different. In the feds, when you're there, if you don't have a job within 30 days, they give you one.
Okay.
There's no laying around or none of that stuff. You're working. You're getting out of your bed, and you're going to go do something. And if they find you a job, then you're going to be outside picking weeds for like $5 a month.
So you can actually go inside. You can actually be inside and choose what you want.
If you're lucky. If
you're
lucky.
I personally think you're very unlucky in the first place.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't think there's
You're
anything
right.
lucky about that.
You're right.
But
the facility, I was in Lone Polk, California,
Okay,
and
yes.
around the Santa Barbara area. But it had a humongous library there. It was one of the biggest places there, and it had like little classrooms along the sides and stuff, and it was just humongous. And I thought to myself, anything that's positive
Yes.
is going to come through this library for this
Wow.
for this institute. And I was right. So I got a janitorial job there. And when I got the janitorial job, it was basically just to go and I'd mop maybe once or twice, and then that'd be it. But I stayed long enough, and I got a chance to become an English as a second language teacher. You know, for the.
That is cool.
No, here's the really cool thing is I told myself I was always nervous about talking in front of people. Okay. So I told myself, well, if I get up there and I teach, I can help. Plus, I can better myself.
So, but you're also speaking, and then you're not speaking in front of people that are beyond you. You're speaking in people that are your same level.
Right, but it just at the same time, it was helping me get over the shyness.
The shyness.
Yes,
everybody has that. You know, we're all shy. I was shy at one time. I can't remember when. I was definitely shy one time.
Right.
I don't know. But so this is really wonderful for anybody out there watching this. You know, this will be great for them to understand.
It is, and it's
so you made something that was bad, you made good of it.
Yes, and so by being in that library, they had just started Allen Hancock Community College had just started a new program where they would the instructors would come into the institute and teach. Wow. And they offered social science and they offered business management. Well, I was in there for bad business management, so I didn't need any help with that already.
You already knew that.
Right,
you already
right. The ins and outs of that, right?
You made a mess of that one already.
Right. So I went with the social science.
Okay.
You know, because I was told that if you come out with an AA for that, you can actually work with drug counselors.
Wonderful.
You know,
so you could actually probably get a job coming when you come out. Because it's hard when you've been in jail. It's hard to come out and get a job.
It is.
So now you have an open door to be able to maybe do something.
And a way to show that the people that were watching me, whether it was the youngsters or not, that you can come out of there with you can use your time wisely.
Now you can use your time wisely, but at the same time, I'm listening to you, and I don't know what you did before you went into jail. But obviously it wasn't very good, and you were probably making a lot of money, drugs and all that kind of stuff. So now you are in prison. Not only are you in prison, but you're also mopping floors.
Right.
Now, that's really, and I'm looking at you saying this, you never want to mop a floor in a prison, I don't think. So I don't think a lot of you want to do that either. I know I don't.
Right.
So how did you feel when you were doing that? It was like, God does not punish, but God gives.
Right.
So this is kind of because you did the devil thing and the bad thing.
Absolutely. I had to pay my debt back.
So you had to pay your debt back.
Right.
How did you feel when you're mopping these floors? What was going through your mind?
Well, I've always been a hard worker. I had an outstanding stepfather who showed me a great work ethic. In the 30 years of watching him work, I maybe seen him miss 5 days of work. You know what I mean? And he a great man. And so I always, at 13, he picked me up one weekend and took me up. It was a garbage company. It was a garbage company. At this time, it was Silver State Disposal. So he picked me up on a Saturday morning, got me in the truck, took me up to Sunrise Mountain, said, "Okay, get out," handed me a box of garbage bags, and said, "See all that garbage?
You're gonna pick it up.
Get at it." But I was 13, making $15 an hour. You know what I mean?
So that was a good thing and a bad thing because you were now introduced to money.
Yes.
And then once when the children, young teenagers, are introduced to too much money at a time, sometimes that can be good or bad.
Yes.
Now I hope you are learning from this, and I'm sure you are learning from this. Was this one of your greatest moments when you met Sean and he kind of took you under his wing?
Definitely, just because of the simple fact of I didn't have no direction. I was kind of...
You had a mother at home and a father?
Not a father.
No father.
And my mom.
Seems like these problems seem to go
right.
around with no dads. I had dad till he died. I mean, you had a dad.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a big problem.
Especially with the boys. Girls gravitate, but even girls need a father's influence as well.
Definitely.
So do you think a lot of what you were sort of headed for was because you didn't have a father to guide you or to look up to?
Yeah, a lot of the times I was just angry about it a little bit. In a sense, I just didn't know how to channel it.
Funny, isn't it, how we, as young people, we get angry with two people that don't get on. I don't think it's ever been explained out there to the children of two people marrying. I mean, nothing's guaranteed in life. They could die or they could divorce or whatever the case may be. And I don't think it's ever addressed to the children. It's always like, keep the children happy, keep them away from it. Instead of explaining, say, like two people are together and they were in love and they've had these children and now they're not in love and they argue together, so therefore we're partying, but it has nothing to do with it. Do you think it should be explained to the younger generation, the children involved more?
Absolutely. I mean, especially if it doesn't work. I mean, in my case, it was the same thing.
Same thing, and you're older than he is, so you know exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
So what is the greatest challenge you have with your foundation and going into these schools and sort of looking at these kids that are totally lost?
Well, initially when I started this, I had started it because I wanted to raise money for families that couldn't afford. I'm sorry, I talk with my hands, but
I love it. No.
It's like I'm molding something. One day I'll figure out what I'm molding. That's just how I am. That's how I show my passion, But it started I wanted to raise money for families that couldn't afford funerals, unexpected times. You know what I mean? Because nobody puts money away. Oh, I'm going to put this money away for that rainy day for a funeral. Nobody does that.
Of one of my children.
We don't want to think about it. Yeah.
Well, you would never think about it.
So nobody puts money away for it. So, I thought that would be a great thing. But what ended up happening was it manifested into what I call the Music Activities Program, or MAP for short.
Yes.
And I have a 12-week curriculum where I teach the kids from day one. I teach them if they don't know how to count the bars of the music when they're writing. I teach them the whole thing. So when they're done, they will either be entrepreneurs as far as in they want to just say they can't sing. They want to. They want to just hustle the music.
Yes.
And then
you can write the lyrics. You can produce.
It goes right. There's so many money revenues. There's so many ways. So I'm kind of like making them little entrepreneurs and just showing them the routes to go.
Well, you're giving them a way of something to actually achieve. What age bracket is your sort of,
Right now, I have just been asked back for a second semester at Canyon Springs High School.
Okay, so that's what, 16 years old?
Yeah, about 15, 16.
15, 16, 17 is about that age.
I initially wanted to start middle school, maybe 6th grade,
Catch them before anything happens.
Yeah, no, really. It's a big, it's a big deal, and then you spoke on the juvenile. I'm trying to get into the juvenile system right now because
juvenile hall.
Yes, because I want to be.
You should definitely be in there. 100%. Sean should be in juvenile hall. And if I can help you in any way with that.
Thank you so much.
I knew all the people in Los Angeles. Carol Dennis was a good friend of mine. I don't know if he's still involved in that, but I could also try to help out her. But I'll get you in there.
That would be beautiful. I would appreciate that. And by getting into the school district, it really. I finally, after 3 years, it's funny because we don't plan for what happens when the door opens. We just plan to get that door open. You know what I mean? So when it opened, it was like, oh my goodness, because they continued to open after that. I kind of look at it like.
Then you build yourself up. They know who you are. They know what you teach. They know what you do. They trust you as to where you're going. Because we have to be very delicate with our children. We're going to get the right teacher in there to teach the right thing, and you could say some wrong word ruin a child's life for the rest of their life.
Right.
In the meantime, how can anybody get hold of you?
I have a website, musicismymedicine.com, and the music is MUZICIZ.
Okay.
Musicismymedicine.com. Also, July 5th, I'm going to be kicking off a show entitled the same thing, Music is My Medicine, on UMOLB.com.
Okay, wonderful.
And
I want to know, what is your message to the younger generation of what you've been through? Give a message out there.
My message is just to, keep moving forward, find something to get into, because just out there roaming the streets, it really doesn't lead to nothing.
So keep
find
yourself
a goal.
off the streets.
Yes, find a goal, find a dream, follow it, and just keep going, just keep on going, and stay off the streets.
Stay off the streets. There you are. That's a great message.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can say definitely one more thing.
I am living, breathing proof that dreams do come true. And if you believe in something, under no circumstances do you ever let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do. You will succeed at some point.
That's a great message. That's a wonderful message. Well, it's been wonderful. A little insight on our younger generation and how that we as parents or friends or whatever we want to call ourselves, helping the younger generation. It doesn't have to be a mother or a father or a relative to help young people. It could be anybody out there, because remember one thing about young people, about Tony. Tony is going to be one of our leaders of the world.
Yes.
And they all, the younger generation, are going to be the leaders of our world. So hey, come on, let's treat them right. Give them the information and help them. That's what they did for us. So we'll be right back. Vegas Live with Nina.